Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know we're up close and personal today, but I am finally doing a updated makeup tutorial. I cannot speak, I'm so excited. I am doing an updated makeup tutorial / get ready with me. I love watching these. I could watch people get ready and do their makeup all the time. You know we're all about Jesus and God's word and living out the gospel and knowing how to love and live his word out in our daily lives, but I also love makeup and fashion and lifestyle and love getting to do life in all of its entirety with you here online. So that's what I wanted to do. So we're gonna sit down and chat, and all the products will be listed below that I use. If you want to see how I accomplish this look step by step, keep watching. Okay, so I'm applying my Purity Made Simple Moisturizer. I love this. It's really light. I don't like anything heavier than this because I usually am a little bit oily in the summertime. And then I use my Dime Wonderscreen Tinted SPF. It's 30 SPF, clean beauty, incredible. You'll see how it gives, since it is tinted, it'll give a little bit of a smoothing effect, and also, I don't know, I wear this sometimes too on its own. But I like putting it underneath my makeup, so I have coverage throughout the day, but it gives you a beautiful natural sheen. I love it. Next up is literally the holy grail of products. I just found this a few weeks ago. I've been testing it out before I did this video because I thought that you guys should know my full review and my full stamp of approval before I shared this with you. It is the Maybelline Super Stay 24-Hour Skin Tint. So I used to use a L'Oreal one, and I discontinued it, which was kind of sad. So I was wandering aimlessly through Ulta. I hate changing my products, but I knew I needed something different. So I found this, and I believe it's $16.99 or $17.99. It's super inexpensive. And it has, I think it has vitamin C or vitamin D in it. Let me see here, vitamin C derivative. And I gotta tell you something too, I like to call it scrunchy, so I'm not super clean with everything. I would love to someday be that way, but some of the stuff I use is just not clean beauty. And it's a process, right? I'm gonna go ahead with this Amazon brush, nothing special. I'm gonna buff this into the skin. It literally is so skin-like and not heavy at all. And you can kind of play with how much you want to put on your skin, layers wise. I don't usually use a lot. The other day I put on a little bit more because we had an event, we had a wedding, but it's really buildable. Make sure to get that neck, blend it down. Okay, look at that. I literally am obsessed with how good it looks. You can still see my skin, you can still see some of just the natural texture, which I think I love. I know I love about a product like this because it feels like skin, but it's a little bit more elevated, so you feel a little more put together. Okay, this is Tara from the future speaking. I totally forgot to do concealer. I usually, hold up. I usually do concealer right after my foundation or right after my skin tint, and I put it right under my eyes and on my eyelids and here, some spots on my face, but I forgot to do it because I was distracted for some reason. So just pretend that I did that in this step right here, and then I moved on to powder. Oh, I had to run and go get my powder because I forgot it in my bathroom. I literally have this Easter basket that was Hunter's. This was a tiny additional Easter basket. It wasn't his only Easter basket. But I have this, and I brought my makeup into my office here to film, and I forgot to put my powder in here. So I usually do a little bit of powder, again, because I'm a little bit more of an oily gal. So I want to make sure that I'm kind of set in the T-zone and the places that matter most. So speaking of Hunter, he's napping right now, and we recently, over the last maybe 3 weeks at this point, switched to a one nap schedule, and truthfully, it has kind of been my favorite thing ever. It's worked really well for us. We usually like to get out in the morning and go do things, keep him occupied, go to a playground, go to coffee, go to a kids area, go see friends, kind of occupy our morning. We'll come back and have lunch at 11:30, a little bit earlier, and then he'll go down for a nap around 12:30. And he's been sleeping max, a couple days he slept 3.5 hours, but it's usually 2.5, 3, which I will take. It's incredible. So I have so much time in the afternoon now to do things, and sometimes I'm what do I do with my time now? I miss it, he's sleeping for so long. But if you're stressed about nap schedules as a mom or a future mom, I want to tell you that it is truly gonna be okay. And I was so uptight at first, but like now I found so much freedom in, obviously I'm a big believer in routines and nap schedules, and I loved the gentle sleep training, but also just feeling free to like flow with it, you know? Okay, so now that the face is set, I am going to do bronzer, and I use these two bronzers. By the way, obviously everything is linked below in the description, but I use these two and I mix them because as you'll see, this one I hit pan on, but this one is a little bit different of a color. It's a little bit cooler. And then this one is a little bit more red than my skin tone is. They're quite a bit different. But what I like about it is mixing the two together, and it kind of makes the perfect shade. So I'm gonna mix both of them here together, and we're just gonna bronze the face. Up on the hairline. This was something I never used to bronze my face because I'm like, oh, I'm tan, I'm fine. But ever since I started lightly bronzing my face, I saw what a difference it made for dimension, and just, I don't know, like accentuating like a jawline and cheekbones, because, I don't know, I'm Korean and I feel like my face can be kind of flat and wide at times, and so I like kind of giving it a little bit of a definition. So I'll mix some more of that. I'll do up on the hairline here, down underneath. You can see that I'm not precise really at all, and I just want to make sure it's blended out really well. I'd love to know, like, is there a makeup product or makeup step that like you never used to do and then now you do? Like, you never used to care about your eyebrows, now you do. Or like me, you never used to bronze, but now you do. Like, I feel like for me, it was bronzer and my eyebrows. And right now I am contouring my nose a little bit. I have a mirror off camera here too, but I use the viewfinder. But I actually love lightly contouring my nose. I don't know if you can tell the before and afters, but I think it makes a huge, huge difference. Again, I've been told and I've noticed Korean people have a little bit of a wider face here. And so I've really enjoyed the power of just a light contour to kind of bring more definition, and I don't know, it's a step that I never used to do until probably a year ago, so it's like super new, but like, I don't know, I can tell difference. Can you? Okay, next up, blush. I literally love these. Pixie is one of my favorite beauty brands from the drugstore, or at least at a drugstore price. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I went on a influencer trip with them, like what, 3 or 4 years ago maybe. My mom and I went, and they flew us down to Los Angeles, and we got to spend time with them, and like go to their store down there, like their flagship. So I've been obsessed with them ever since. That feels like a lot of blush, by the way. I'm not a huge blush gal, but I like a little bit. But their On The Glow blush sticks are incredible. They're tinted moisture sticks, which they're not drying. I can put them over powder and they're not gonna like break up, you know, because sometimes when you have like cream and powder products, they don't mix very well, but this actually is a really good combination with the powder that I used. I love these. I have them in a couple shades. They're super hydrating. You can even use them on like your lips and stuff as color. So blush is done. Let's move on to highlighter. I switched between, whoop. Okay, we're back. I switched between powder highlight and then liquid highlight. I just really am liking powder highlight recently. I feel like it's just easier to blend on top of what we've already created, the base. And so I have this one. This and my bronzer is from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics off of Ulta. I don't condone Jaclyn Hill's lifestyle at all, but I think she makes really good makeup products, and I followed her beauty tutorials for a long time. So I do really like her bronzer and her lip oils and her highlighter. This one is beautiful. I think this is in the shade Star Power, and it's like, I don't know, it's kind of pinky but goldy. It's not quite rose gold though, because I'm not really the biggest fan of rose gold stuff. But you'll see when I put it on, I mean, I just barely put it on. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Okay, next side. It's just too good. A little bit on there, a little bit on the nose. It is a little easy to get carried away with this, so I would say be careful. Okay, now that we are highlighted to the sky, let's move on to eyebrows. I have a whole like step process, like I think every girl does though. Like, you have the order of what products you use. Maybe you're not that way and you just kind of do them randomly, but I always have a step process. Like one has to precede the other. And if I don't, like, I feel like it's messed up. Usually this routine will take me, I don't know, if I'm really fast, I'm not distracted, 10 minutes, but usually 15 minutes max. I still feel like it's pretty good in a morning. So eyebrows. So fun fact, growing up, my parents told me that I had like the most expressive eyebrows. Like I could do all of these like weird things with them. And so now it's kind of funny to like do my eyebrows because I never cared about doing my eyebrows. And they used to be like thinner and not great. So eyebrows are kind of artistic and therapeutic for me. I think this is a Benefit Goof Proof pencil, and it's just in the shade black. I think 5 is their darkest one. So I'll use the spoolie, and as I was doing, I'll brush them up just to make sure they are not crazy. And then I'll take this other end, which it's more like it's like a pencil shape. It's not like precise. They have a precisely one that's more of like a ball tip, and this one's more like a triangular tip. I'm gonna look in the mirror here off camera so I can see what I'm doing. But I start with the tail end of my eyebrow because it's a little bit more sparse on this eyebrow. Something random that I've heard from beauty influencers that I watch on YouTube is that your eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters. And so truthfully, unless you have them like completely done to look exactly alike, like clipped or waxed or whatever, your eyebrows are not going to be twins. And so I've just kind of learned to be okay with that because they always look a little bit different, but okay. So I'll lightly just brush out the end first, draw in the end. What I love about this product too is that it's very blendable. So if you make a mistake, you can just like take your finger and rub it out, and then I'll slowly trace the top. I don't want the inside of my eyebrows to be very intense because I feel like that is where you can mess up with eyebrows and then you look scary. So I'll like lightly trace the top, and then I don't know if this makes sense. I'll try to show you. But I will take the bottom of the pencil and I'll trace this part because this is the sparsest part. As you'll see, there's not much here that I need to color in. So I will gently take this and I will drag it along the bottom here to fill it in, but it's looking a little bit much. So then what I'll do is I'll spoolie it up, which disperses the product. And I'll just keep doing that until I get the desired effect that I want. I'll brush it up a little bit like that. Actually, that's pretty good. And again, every day they kind of look a little different, but this is usually my method. So that is the finished product. I think it looks pretty dang natural. So let's do the next one. The key is just using a really, really, really light hand, knowing that you can go over it and you can blend it out. But also if you use a really heavy hand and you do more than you wanted, this is so blendable. It's easy to go back if you've made a mistake. Again, you'll see that they are not twins, they're sisters, but I think eyebrows really bring life and structure to the face, so it's been fun to kind of figure out what that looks like for me. So that looks pretty good. I want to call it a day for the eyebrows. And then I'm going to go in with my 24-hour brow setter, also from Benefit. I can't open this. My hands were all like covered in makeup, so I couldn't open it. This is just the clear color, which I love because I don't want to add any more color to what I've already done. So just setting that up. I will brush the front part of my eyebrow just a little bit more up, and then I'll brush this part down. But it's just setting it, and literally it's a 24-hour brow setter. I do not have to worry about my eyebrows moving at all. But it doesn't feel crunchy because I've used products before for my eyebrows that feel really crunchy. This is not crunchy whatsoever. It'll feel natural. Like, it's incredible. Trust me, I've used this combination for a long time. Okay, so here's an update on how we're doing so far. Complexion is looking glowy. It's looking natural. It's looking fresh. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I just realized that I forgot my primer underneath though. I usually do a primer, but truthfully, this skincare combination with the 24-hour skin tint is my favorite thing ever. I do really think that it would go well into winter because sometimes your skin changes in the winter. I'll have to keep you updated on that, but I really do think this is a very wearable one for the winter too. Like, it's not too summery. I love it. Okay, let's move on to eyes. One of my favorite parts of makeup. A bunch of little brushes that I promise all have a purpose. So first up, I'm going to use like this fluffy guy right here. And I have the Ilia, I believe it's the Necessary eyeshadow palette. And you will see that it is very well loved. Look at that. This one is almost pan, that one's almost pan. Like, Yes, I love this guy so much. I was looking for a fun fact. I was looking for a new eyeshadow palette because 2 summers ago, last summer with Hunter, right after I had Hunter, because I gave birth in March and then it was that summer, I realized I was starting to get like weird rash things around my eyes. And I didn't know what was going on. I thought it might have been my makeup, so I switched up a lot of my makeup and we came to find out that it was just allergies. But the switch made me find Ilya's Necessary eyeshadow palette. And truthfully, all the colors that I need, all the colors I need in my life, it is literally so good, and it's good for any season. I'm gonna take this one, and I'm also gonna take that one down here. And I mix them together on this fluffy brush, and this is like my base. This is my base for my eyeshadow. Growing up, I don't have a lot of Asian friends. I have, my best friend is Korean as well, but my other friends aren't, and I realized very quickly when I started getting into makeup around high school that my eye shape was very, very different from them. And that really changed the way I did makeup because I don't have a lid. I have full lid space. It's called a mono lid. And so I kind of like went on this YouTube binge when I was younger to figure out how to do eyeshadow for my face and for my eyes because I don't have a crease. The rules of the game had changed for me, and I have been doing this kind of method, for lack of a better term, for a long time. So I will use the bottom 2 colors here and I will mix them on this a little bit denser and thicker brush. And I like that because I want to be a little more precise with this color. So again, bottom 2 colors, and then what I'll do is I will start down here at the eye line, the eyelash line, and then I will bring it up ever so slightly at an angle, if you can see that. I'm going to grab a little bit more of my brush, and then what I'll do is I will come up and almost make a C shape, if that makes sense. So we start down here at the eyelash line, make a little bit of a slanted line, and come up into your eye socket. I feel around, when I was first learning how to do this, you feel around for your eye socket, and that's right there where you want to make that crease if you have a mono lid, because we don't have a crease. And so eyeshadow gives the illusion that you kind of do, and gives depth and dimension to a very solid eye shape. So again, I just kind of work that in until the color and the pigment is where I want it to be. Looks pretty good to me. And then I'll move on to the next eye. And it's all about playing around with it. Again, this eyeshadow palette, I was always very skeptical because I never, until the last couple years, I started getting into a little bit more cleaner makeup. I never really thought that clean makeup could be effective makeup, as silly as that sounds, but I just heard from people. I had tried some brands before and the makeup never lasted. It never had good pigment. And I just like was a little discouraged until I found this eyeshadow palette, and it is so pigmented. It lasts all day for me without smudging. And so I definitely, this is gonna be my ride or die. It just has all the basic colors that you need if you are pretty neutral with your makeup like me. Okay, so as you can see, we've added depth to the eye, started at the eyelash line, brought up, made kind of a C, kind of a, or honestly like a greater than or lesser than sign. That's kind of what it also looks like on the eyes. So now I'm gonna move on to the lower lash line before we do the lid. All right, so taking a tinier little, basically just like a very flat brush that's a little more precise, I'm going to take that brown, but only a little bit because it's super pigmented, and then I'm going to drag it along the lower lash line here. The lower lash line requires a lot of concentration. So we're gonna drag it along there. I used to never add makeup to my bottom lid, my lower lid line, my water line, not water line, but you know, down here, because I thought that it was going to close my eyes up, but I realized if I just blended it out better, then it was gonna be okay. So I like adding that for depth because, as you'll see later, I don't put eyeshadow on my bottom lashes because the way that my lashes go, my bottom ones at least, they kind of like curl up. So when I'm putting mascara on them, they kind of like get all tangled up with my upper lashes. So bottom lid done. Gives it a little bit of a dimension, which I love. So we're gonna move on to the lid. And grab my next brush, not that one. Then I'm gonna use like a flat lid brush, basically very basic. And then I'm gonna take these 2 shimmer colors right across from each other right there. And I'm going to mix them together. One, this palette is super messy, but one is a little bit more rose gold bronzy and the other one's like a little bit lighter. But I mix them together because I love the combination it makes. And then I pat not rub, because patting really gets the pigment to stay. It makes it more concentrated, I found. So I'll put that right on the first half of the lid, and then I'll drag it down right here on the inner corner just to bring a little bit of, you know, to bring a little bit of life to it. And then we'll repeat that to the second eye, patting that. Need a little more. Okay, once that's done, I usually go back through with that like denser brush that we made the crease with, and then I'll just blend it out, because sometimes things get a little bit messy when you're applying the lid color, the lid shimmer. And this has always literally been my eye routine. I have not changed this for the last, I don't know, since I was like a senior in high school or a freshman in college, so it's been a while, because I'm 24, almost 25. So it's been multiple years that I have not changed the way that I do my eyes, and I'm pretty sure I never will, because it's kind of the best way for my eye shape. But also, if you have a different eye shape than I do, you can still do the same kind of method, just with like an eyelid if you have a crease. About, I want to say 3 years ago, I started using the Dime Beauty eyelash serum, which is just helping to strengthen and grow them. And you cannot see my eyelashes now, but I'm going to do my mascara and you will see. I truly wish I had a better before pic, or even just had a before pic, but my eyelashes were so small. They were so straight. I, even with curling, could never get them to even show up. So I never used to wear mascara. I used to just like do my makeup like this, because I just didn't want to mess with mascara. It just didn't make a difference. But I've been using Dime Beauty's serum for a long time. And you will see my eyelashes. I'm impressed. I know they're not the longest, and they never will be compared to some people, but I'm very happy with them. So I'm going to just to curl them, and then we're going to apply some mascara. I usually do twice on each eye, about like 10 pumps. And I always make sure to release it before pulling it away from my eye, because if you release and pull at the same time, you're gonna take your eyelashes out. And take it from me, because I've done it so many times. Okay, so the eyelashes are curled. I promise that they're there. Just wait. I also use the Lash Paradise by L'Oreal, and I use the waterproof version. And the reason why is because, I don't know if it's just because of my eyelashes, because they're weird and crazy like I talked about, but they just don't hold a curl with any other like regular mascara, like regular non-waterproof. So waterproof is always my go-to. So I'm gonna, ooh, I touched it. So I'm just gonna use this, and I will show you the difference. Hold please. I feel like we should put a SpongeBob, like a SpongeBob thing in here saying like 1 hour later. My eyes usually do take the majority of my makeup routine, because I want to coat every single tiny lash that I have to offer. Okay, I think that's good for now, but I just want to show you, like, I know I'm super up close and personal right now, but like, I, again, don't usually have lashes. It's not a thing for me, but the fact that you can see them is life-changing for me. So that is my meager offering for my lashes. But we are basically done. I'm gonna top with some of my favorite lip gloss, and then there it is. So this is the this is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. I had it in like the Petals color, which was like a very clear color. I love that. But this one is shade 6 Reef. I think it's perfect for summer. This is my favorite drugstore lip gloss. It is not very expensive, it lasts a long time, and it feels really good. So I definitely consider this color like my lips, but better for summer, and it literally is not sticky. It kind of has like a nice vanilla flavor to it, or scent to it. All right, that is my everyday makeup tutorial. It definitely took a lot longer than it usually does, because we were chatting along the way, but this was so fun. I could literally watch people do their makeup all the time. It's so relaxing and therapeutic to me. And if you've been around on my Instagram or my YouTube here, I'm all about preaching the truth of the gospel and helping you live God's word, know God's word, and see how the gospel influences your everyday life. But I also love fashion and lifestyle and makeup and just doing the beautiful little simple things of life, and makeup is one of those. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to like this video. I will have all of the products that I use linked below so you can shop them, try them out for yourself. Please, please, please subscribe. We have a day in the life of a stay-at-home / working mom that I'm going to be posting soon. And I'm just so thankful you're here on this corner of the internet. I'd love to connect with you guys on Instagram or grab a copy of my book, listen to my podcast. It's a way to go even further with me on platforms I'm a little bit more consistent with. So I love you guys. Thank you again, and I will see you soon.